I think my biggest goal today is if I could get her to step up on a little more consistent basis. I don't have good luck getting her to do that. First, she would only step up here, and now I've got her stepping up this way. If I come like that, then she's in attack mode. But if I go like that, sometimes I can get her to step up. I've only had her about a year and a half.
Okay.
And she's 27.
I want to see 3 to 5 repetitions of just interaction, so I can get a little bit of a baseline of what looks good and where we can clean.
Okay, Chico. Good job. Yeah. Yeah, you ready? Okay. Good job.
Their upper mandible can move, the lower one cannot.
Okay.
So I'm going to position the stick where she's got to reach, and she's just barely going to hit with the top part of her beak.
Okay.
And so I'll have you try to do the same. See how much more gentle that is?
Yes.
So what that'll start to do is it'll start to pair a gentle target rather than a biting target.
Okay.
So what we've started to relay to people is if your target stick has bite marks in it, you're doing it wrong.
Good job.
Oh, that coming in for the treat. I thought that was an issue. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll add to that. So one of the things, that was still really fast, but the click marks the exact moment of the behavior you want to see repeated.
Okay.
It also buys you some time to fish out a treat and deliver the treat. On this one, when you hear the click, I want you to just count to 2 and then offer the treat slowly.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. There you go. That was way
That
better.
was the right energy.
And then the only thing I would do differently is
Come
just
higher.
deliver the treat from higher. So if she...
The same way you're doing the targeting is how you're going to deliver the treat.
Nice. So you're still really close to her where she could bite you.
Okay.
You could even be a little further back and just make her reach for it.
Good job.
Aww.
1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. There you go.
Yay.
Cool.
So better.
That's a lot
Good
cleaner.
job.
Does that feel a little cleaner?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just habitual for you. So it's really just making you aware of the habit you've already formed, and just now we're trying to crack it and break it, reform it.
Will you see if she'll take a treat from you? So really pay attention to how far she's making her work for it.
Okay.
Probably go off that side. She's really got to reach, and it's only upper mandible and tongue. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want to go for. You're holding your other fingers almost in front of it. She likes this with you. That looked good. That looked a lot better.
So remember to give time in between when she touches the stick, when you bring in the treat, and you're bringing in the treat the same way that you targeted. Look good?
Nailed it there.
Yeah, nailed it.
The pressure was on and you rose to the occasion.
Can't do that. That wasn't perfect.
And even points for the
That was cute. That was actually very cute.
I don't know what happened.
Behind the back.
Okay,
Let's-
well, I hope it goes better with macaw.
Oh man.
Okay, so we're gonna have her actually hand a treat to a macaw. The reasoning was that there's some habits we need to break, and I think if she's working with a bird with a bigger beak, she's gonna take it a little slower and be a little more cautious. Don't tell her though, this bird's actually really nice. So I'm putting the treat between my fingers like this. The other fingers are not open and scary, they're just back and closed. And then we make her just reach, and it's only upper mandible and tongue. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're gonna do. Go a little closer, right there.
Okay.
So you were pretty good, but then you pushed in at the last second, and if she wanted to bite, she could have. Could you see? You felt her lower mandible there at the end, right?
I did.
So that just means you went a little too far.
Okay.
Hey. So The reason my fingers are curled in is this is more targets, and that right there is just really clear. Okay. And now she's reach. There, pause. There, you got it. See, you were just right at the end of where she could reach, right?
And I live to talk about
Yes. So that's what I'd love to see when you're giving a treat to Chico. Perfect. See, she couldn't have bitten you from that angle. The way you did it, lower mandible couldn't have got you. And it was not like this. That's perfect.
Good job. I do verbally praise her. Is that okay?
It depends. The reason I have hesitation is it's not usually done perfectly, and a click and the treat is pretty clear. If you say good, it takes this amount of time, or the click is instant. So what could happen is you could step up and you say good, and during the time that you say good, she reaches down and bites you. So you just bridged her for that entire sequence because you were saying good long enough that you got two behaviors, and you didn't want both those. You want the step up but not the bite. Well, you're likely to get both because of that word. The other thing is that it can be a trigger for a lot of different things too. So I like doing pretty silent training to eliminate variables in the beginning. And also what happens is, like, if she's really afraid, oftentimes what people would say is like, well, you're a good girl, it's okay, you're good. You might as well be like clicking for anxiety, right? And you're pairing that. So that's the reason, like, it can be done if it's very specific, but oftentimes it's used accidentally in other areas.
I have trouble with my husband walking around saying, good bird. And I keep trying to convince him, what is she being good about? And
Yeah.
You're just rewarding her for nothing or for things that I don't want her to do. Yeah. And he doesn't handle her at all.
Okay. So that would be another reason why I would try to refrain from using a verbal praise, unless you pick a new word that is only said when you mean it, like, like bridge, like, or something that you would only say in that context.
One of the things that I've done with her is I've taught her to station, because there's only one part of the cage I will pick her up from.
Okay, that's a really good way too, and this kind of goes back to what we were talking about, like permission-based training, is if that bird doesn't go to that station, not to put your hand in there,
right,
because you're not set up for success. But if she chooses to go there, that she's at least open to the idea of training. Let's do 2 more just really great reps. And remember, just slow it down. So the only criticism or critique I'd give is that she bit the stick pretty hard.
Oh, I didn't even know this.
And so you could just remember to go a little further back.
I was bad. I know.
You could hear Jamie's expression.
Didn't even look.
Well, you could feel it too.
Yeah.
Just got hot in here.
Blood pressure.
Okay, so we have direction there to clean up,
Yeah.
and you have some successful attempts at it. The other thing you're wanting was a step up. Okay. Did you offer a treat when she stepped up over there? Did you give her a treat?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Because she normally won't do it for a treat.
Won't usually step up for a treat? So she did step up for a treat and you didn't give her a treat? Or she stepped up nicely but you didn't give her?
I didn't offer her one.
Okay.
She just stepped up.
So it's often overlooked, but step up is definitely a trick.
And I tried giving her treats or getting her to step up for a treat.
Okay.
But I haven't been successful with that.
Okay. So where I'm trying to go with it is, when you are successful with it, make sure you have a treat ready. Because she came out of the cage very willingly, so that would have been a great spot to say, hey, this worked, here's a treat. When you are trying to get her to step up, what what's the environment like? Is it normally the same spot in her cage, the house?
So she's in her cage. I have her stationed to that spot, and then step up. If I go like this, she won't do it. If I go like that, she will.
Okay.
I don't try to get her off the top of her cage. And if she gets down on the ground, I just kind of swoop up under her and come from behind.
Okay.
Usually she's wanting to get up at that point.
Okay. So you're touching on something here that I want to elaborate on.
Okay.
When she's on the floor, she wants to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Where else could we have her that she wants to step up?
I'm hoping that.
I agree. So
I agree.
Because we're in a new environment, we're on a perch that she's not super confident with, you're more likely for success here than you would in the same corner of your house with the same perch that is becoming territorial. Maybe she's hormonal. Why would she want to leave? So let's see
I
if...
think that's the key. If she's hormonal, that's her nest.
Mhm.
And it's really difficult doing anything with her cage.
Yeah.
She's
and-
aggressive. I try to put food in it. If I mess with her water, she attacks.
Yeah. Yeah, so we always start with whatever's working. And so if that means changing the environment completely like we have here, do you feel like you could attempt it safely?
Stepping up. I'll try.
Okay, so before you do,
Okay.
I want to think through how do we make this successful.
Okay.
So we
Looking to you.
definitely should offer a treat if she does it. Also, don't be afraid for her to tell you she doesn't want to step up, and you're being okay with that and stepping back.
Usually what I'll do is just turn my back and step away, or sometimes I'll just kind of rest against the cage with my back
Okay.
and let her come to, every once in a while she'll come and kind of touch me or something.
She's like, hey.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to show you some really clear body language.
Okay.
So I'm going to hide these for a second. See the body language there?
Yeah.
No desire to step up.
No, go
Yeah.
away.
Can you see that okay from that angle? Okay, so now watch the difference. Would you like to do it for this? Hell yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
She's going to give the same cues. They'll be a lot more subtle. So make sure you're paying attention to that. And if she tells me she doesn't want to step up, the worst thing I could do is force a step up. Because all that does is burn trust. And eventually, after years of me bowling her, she's going to snap and she's going to attack me. Right? And so we just really need to have that like, oh, you don't want to? Why not? Oh, I didn't show you I have a treat. Remember this? And then whole posture change. And there's other subtle things that I'm doing to solicit that response. But it's okay to let her tell you she doesn't want to.
Try it.
However you think you
Step up.
Nice. And back to the perch. Cured. I got the same look Jamie gave you.
Okay, step up.
Notice how much more heightened her eyes were on that. Let's go ahead and set her back down. I want you to think of, I think I'm going to give you 2 layers of directions here. So I want you to think of, do you want to step up? It's a question. It's no longer a command. And when it's a question, you're going to be looking for a response. The second part to that is I want you to say it in your head. And your body language should mimic what your inner voice is saying. So there should be, like you saw me do with the macaw, it was like, do you want to step up? And she's like, nope, not a chance. Right? So that's all inner dialogue that you're having. Second, I just want you to slow it way down.
Okay.
And that'll also help make it not feel like a command. The hand is super obvious as a cue, and the vocal sometimes can trigger heighten. She was really heightened on that one as compared to the one before it. So
Okay.
calm and slow, and no words. Did you see she didn't get all eye pinny? And so I think the vocal is potentially a trigger.
Okay.
But you can see how your body language is very clear. She engaged with you, she locked on, and then as your hand came close, she's like, yeah, I'll do that. Let's see if we can get two more reps, again, nice and slow.
I know I was late.
I'm just laughing at the carnival ride.
Okay, we'll try to.
Can you believe you paid to get harassed? Nice job.
If she stepped up like this, it would make it a little easier
Wait,
to then
wait.
bring her around. Okay, I know.
Did you see her flaring her eyes at her?
So, I would love those examples. Just make sure you're not in her bubble when you're giving them. Because you just gave her like 3 cues while she's eating, and she just got heightened. So, I agree that it would be nice to try it that way. We've got a great, what's called behavioral momentum going. I bet if you do the same slow approach and then put your fingers the proper way that you want to, and if you have to lure her with a treat, feel free, and also look for that body language. But let's give it a try, just slow. So I didn't click, but you can still give a treat. Go ahead.
Oh.
The reason I didn't click is she just touched you with her beak, so I don't want to click for that.
Okay.
Think of a clicker as taking a picture of the exact moment that you want to print out and frame, right? And I don't want to click for something that's not perfect.
Okay, and I don't want her rushing
Yeah.
my arm either.
So let's go back to the carnival ride,
Okay.
since that's working, and we'll just get more repetitions with that.
Okay.
And and then we'll maybe the second or third session with her today, we'll try to switch.
Okay.
It's really funny that she's like that, huh? She's like, oh yeah, and then the other way she's like,
And I noticed when the bird sitter picks her up, she does it like this.
On this next rep, I want you to hold on to, like, you can go ahead and give her the treat on you, but just hold her a little bit longer before putting her back.
Okay.
And now. Awesome. So the reason I'm having you do that is to start to extend the amount of time that she's on you, rather than thinking the trick is step up and immediately go back to the perch. We want her to step up and be comfortable and content and confident being on you. So at home, you can do these repetitions, but just slowly extend a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. And by the end of a week, you'll be able to have her for 7 seconds. Right? Like that's how minor the increments will be. The last thing we want to do is like have success and then go burn that trust by walking around the building with her, right? We just want to, we could get there, might take a month, but we want to take real small deliberate steps.
That's how I feel about my cats.
Three.
She can hear his truck pull in,
Oh.
and she screams when she hears his truck.
Yeah. So let's think of the step up as the whole experience from start to finish as being a good one. So just take extra care to make sure that she doesn't lose her balance and ever have a reason to not want to be in your hand.
Ready?
Nice. Good job. I'm almost wondering if you can show her this way, and then you get her to say yes, and then turn it as you
Turn
come
it
in.
around.
Mm-mm.
That was a good read. She doesn't like that way.
No.
What do you think about shortening that step up experience? Just like letting her go face away instead of.
Oh, when she sets her down?
Mm-hmm. You feel like her brain can handle it? No, okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
So keep trying
Yeah,
this
let's keep doing it the way that's working.
way. Okay.
Look at her engaged. Nice. Can you see when she gives you that clear language that she wants to step up?
I did.
I would say this one, go ahead and pick her up, and I'll click. I'll just have you hold on to her just a little bit longer before you set her down. Alright, so hold her, 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 and back down. Nice job.
Yeah. Can I try it?
You can try it. That's why she's doing it. Did you catch that? So the reason that she's avoiding this way is you're putting your thumb on her feet. Or avoiding this way is you're putting your thumb on. She doesn't like that, and you can't do it this way. So that's why she's telling you politely.
Okay. So just let it go.
I think you could work through it. I'd say give it a week of like, just step up as a trick with what's working, right? So this direction, it's in a room that she's most likely to have success with. Create a rapport with her on that. And then if you still feel like trying to switch it, I would be very intentional with switching it and making sure your thumb doesn't touch her feet, because that was why she's refusing it.
Okay. I think let me do it again, because I think I do kind of touch the back of her feet when I have her up.
Okay. Yeah, she doesn't have a bad association with it though. It's just the tops of her feet, she was not okay with it.
When I decided to go this route, the permission-based route, I've gotten, flack from my husband and other people, but just because at this point I'm the only one that can handle her.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to look at it. Personally, I think it's the most ethical way to treat these animals. They have a choice to do something, and some birds will just submit, but I prefer them having an option. You have a better relationship with them that way.
Yeah.
Cool. And on the final one, let's hold her just a little longer. I'll guide you through it again. Hold her, hold her, hold her, hold her. And down. Yeah, I think we figured out why she doesn't like the other direction, because that was bothering me.
I wondered too.
And that makes sense. And it's it's kind of like one of those little triggers, like I said, with this African gray. Someone said step up, and that was a command, and the bird didn't want to be told what to do. It wanted the choice, and so anytime the lady said step up, it would bite. And so when she stopped saying step up and just offered her hand, the bird was consistently great. And I think that having your hand the wrong direction was just a signal for like, something's coming that I don't like.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, she seems super receptive to it. So I would just go with it, go with what's working, and over time you could morph it.
Yeah.
But we got to put more coins in the birdie bank account before we can do that.
So we'll just get more. We'll just make it a dance.
Yes.
Do this, and then we'll swing around.
Do you feel like you have some takeaways from today and
I
some
do.
things you can,
Mm-hmm.
some tools to move forward?
I mean, it's helpful to know why she won't step up the other way, because that does seem like a more natural way. So that's helpful to know, and we can work on it periodically.
If you want to start with a new chopstick, we have one in your bag.
Okay.
And start to pay attention to if you're letting her bite it or not.
Okay.
Because those little details matter. Just soft targets, and then closing those fingers in, so it's not all these other distractions right in the bird's face. It's just very clear. Here's the treat that we want you to get.
Keep my fingers down.
Yeah.
Not this way.
Yep.
So not worrying about the clicker.
I wouldn't worry about it for you personally.
Okay.
I can see you like thinking through enough already that I don't want to layer in a
I don't
clicker.
think I have enough hands.
Well, there's that too. Yeah, that's why we often use a treat pouch, right? So I'd have the clicker here, and I get to step up and click, and then grab a treat.
Yeah.
We try to cater it to what people's strengths are, and I think that adding that would be too much for you.
Okay.
So you may choose a specific word that's really like I would honestly, a great one just be bridge.
Okay.
And it's because that is a bridge, right? And you're not accidentally going to say like, you're good. It's okay. You're good. You're not going to be saying bridge, right? So,
Yeah,
and then your
so
husband's
it's
not going to
a
say,
special word.
yeah, and just reattach that word in place of what the click would be.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Did you say okay?
Well, cool. Do you think you're able to get her back into
Yeah.
the cage? Okay. So remember, every interaction is a training session. You're still training, and we're flying the helicopter at 70%. So there's still some power left to get her back in, and that should be a really, really rewarding experience. So feel free to to dump a few extra treats in. When Trixie was put away earlier, I threw in 4 pine nuts.
Ready?
Okay.
Yeah. Did she say go back?
It's too slow on my clicker there, but awesome. Is she still eating the treat, or can you give her an extra one?
I'm coming for her next.
She's like perfect.
She dumped it out. She didn't like it.
Okay.